Okay, already. This season, we're coaching someone through what so many of us go through.
I'm Alison.
I'm Michelle.
Meet Sophie. She stayed too long, she'll break up, she'll heal, she'll date, she'll spiral. She's you, she's us.
We'll walk with her and you through every phase, from heartbreak to wholeness.
If you're tired of the chaos and ready to thrive in singlehood and in love,
welcome to season 3. Oh,
that's
so
so
close.
good.
Hello!
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 Happy Christmas and Happy
And
New
happy
Year!
birthday!
Oh, thank you!
Yay! Happy birthday to Alison! She's turning 24 today.
Oh, yay!
But yes, also happy Christmas and happy holidays and happy December. Almost 2026.
Almost 2026.
Yeah. Crazy.
I mean, I have to say 2025 was the best year of my life. This year introduced my little boy.
Ah, yay. Cute little teddy.
He's so cute.
He's such a teddy bear.
He is such a teddy bear. And the latest update is that he stands up and I won't do it because it's going to hurt the microphone, but he goes, ah, ah, like really loudly. And to get out of time, he goes, ah.
Such a cutie. The things kids do.
Oh, I know.
But
I'm such a sucker for it.
Yeah. So whipped.
And, well, he's going to walk all over me.
Yeah.
I mean,
what can you do?
What can you do? So holiday season for Sophie, and we haven't pre-recorded a lot, so this is going to be kind of coming out as we record.
Exactly, yeah.
And so this is an interesting topic because it's kind of like the holiday season and being okay with being alone.
Mm-hmm. Especially in the holiday season.
Yeah.
In general, it's hard, so, you know.
It's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just kind of looked at, my brother is going through a breakup, and also is alone during the holiday season. And it's not easy. It's not easy, especially with kind of people around you kind of either getting married or, with children and kind of have moved on from the whole single period.
Yeah.
So Sophie's first question is, how do I become comfortable with being alone without feeling lonely or incomplete? I'm just gonna, before we kind of go into that question, you sent me a reel the other day of Lucy Hale, the actress.
Lucy Hale, yeah, it's gone viral.
And she was saying like, she's 36, not married, no kids, and kind of like, and people being like, oh, it's like there's nothing wrong with that.
No, each person has their own timing, and I hate that someone has to feel bad or someone has to justify them being alone or being single at a certain age or at a certain time.
Exactly. And it's just, I was talking to, so my cousin was here yesterday for like a pre-birthday surprise. So she's in a relationship but hasn't got kids, and it was like, she was saying, I'm not sure that I even want kids. Like, it's so weird to me. Like, I love Teddy, but I'm not sure. And I was like, that's fine. It's fine. It's like, don't even worry about it. And so I think the first thing to do when you're single, especially newly single, is get back into that. Like, it's fine. You are not broken. You are not this kind of weird alien thing that everybody should be in a relationship and you're not, and you're broken. And same as, just because I have a child doesn't mean you need to have a child. And I would much rather you not have a child if you don't absolutely want one, especially in today's world. Like, so how do I become comfortable being alone without feeling lonely or incomplete? Like,
be alone.
Work on being alone and believing that you are not incomplete. Feeling lonely. I mean, you can feel lonely being surrounded by people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, JT is the type of person, like, for people who don't know, JT's my partner. JT is the type of person that when he's surrounded by people, it's when he feels loneliest.
Yeah.
And so being alone does not mean being lonely and not incomplete. Like, I think, how people, if they want to feel young, they shouldn't be with a bunch of young people. They should go with people who are a bit older, because if you're with only young people, you're going to feel old. And if you want to
Yeah.
feel fit, and things like that. I think it's the same for this. Like, if you are with the person that doesn't fit right, then you're going to feel even more incomplete than if you're on your own working on yourself.
Yeah. And I think, well, first of all, you have to get that mentality out of your head, that thought that you have to be with someone to feel complete, or that anyone else in the world besides yourself can complete you, is just not something that's ever going to be true. And I think as long as you believe that there's someone out there who's going to complete you, who isn't yourself, then you'll never feel complete, even when you do find someone who complements you, not completes you. That's one. And two, you
That's
wanted
such
to,
a good distinction.
yeah. And I think the second thing is that, you're asking, how do I feel comfortable with myself? The only way to feel comfortable with yourself, just like with any other person in your life, is actually spending time with yourself. You cannot be comfortable with something if you don't ever do anything or do anything about it. It's just like with friends and family. You won't feel comfortable in another person's presence if you never spend time with them, and if you never do anything of value with them. And I think that's something that you need to start doing with yourself as regular as possible. Not, we have this tendency to escape our own presence, to escape our own heads. There's so, especially today with so many distractions and so much technology, it's just we just want to get out of our own heads all the time, and we just want to get out of our own space. And I think that's one of the main reasons why we feel so uncomfortable alone, and why it feels so foreign to us. And I think it's quite ridiculous that, to spend time by yourself is considered, I don't know, sad, pathetic, lonely, when you are the one person that you cannot ever get rid of. You're the one person who's going to be
No,
with you all the time. So, I mean, I think it's a superpower to be able to spend time by yourself and to feel comfortable with yourself. And I think the key to getting there is just doing it.
I completely agree. And like something like what you said kind of like triggered a bit of a memory, where I saw this post the other day where she had lost like 30 kilos. I don't know why, I think that's kind of like 70 pounds. Um, and she was saying, I don't even recognize the person on the left anymore. And one person commented, the person on the left showed up for the person on the right. And don't forget that. The person on the right exists because the person on the left showed up and was there and backed you and everything. Just because
Exactly.
you prefer the person on the right doesn't mean this other person. And what I kind of, the parallel I want to draw is just because like you are you and you show up for yourself and you are there for
Exactly.
yourself. And the other day I was looking at myself in the mirror, and I've gained weight since giving birth. I've gained a bit of weight because I'm going through this kind of postpartum thing, and it's a bit rough, and I'm not going to make a whole thing. And JT says this body has created life, birthed life, been caring for life, and has been keeping you alive. And sure, there are extra kilos, and sure, there's your blah blah. It's like, but that's the only thing that that's quote unquote wrong. You know, you are otherwise completely healthy, and you can do everything that you want, and you can go back to yoga and everything. It's just like, and you are not your body. You are you, and your body is helping you that, and you should be grateful for it. And I was like, that's amazing. And I think that all of this kind of fits into that of just, you are the person keeping yourself alive and being this best version, and you are, you know, you are the one pushing through this whole kind of breakup period. And
Mm.
I think look at yourself in the mirror and be like, thank you, because you're there, you're backing me, you're making sure that I'm okay, healthy and everything. And I just, more than kind of finding these tricks of how can I be okay, blah, blah. Just like look at yourself in the mirror and say it over and over and over until it sounds true.
Exactly. You are the one that creates the narrative. And I think it's exactly what you're saying is, it's how you look at things that that makes a difference. You
Yeah.
can look at the situation and say, oh, poor me, I'm all alone and I'm sad and I'm pathetic and no one's going to ever like me and I'm going to be alone forever and I can never be happy this way. Or you can look at it and say, this is an opportunity for me. This is a time where
Yeah.
I can rediscover myself. I can get to know myself better. I can create a strong bond that won't be ever broken by another relationship. It will only strengthen the relationship. And I think it's all a matter of how you look at it. Yeah, there's certain situations where it's harder. Yeah, not everything can be spun into positive. Not everything should be spun into something positive. But I think just in general, the more you let yourself sink into negative mindsets, I think the harder it will be to actually do something and get out of it and just be happy.
Yeah.
And I think, going back to Sophie's question about, how to become comfortable with being alone is again doing things that help you create that positive mindset, which means doing things that you love, doing things that make you happy, doing things that make you feel good. Because if you only ever escape your own company, and if you only ever do with yourself things that make you feel lazy or procrastinate or feel,
Disconnected.
yeah, that's all you're ever going to feel. If all you ever do is binge watch a Netflix with yourself, or all you ever do is just binge eat, or all you ever do is sit around and do nothing, or all you ever do is feeling sad and sorry for yourself, then of course you're going to want to avoid your own time. And of course you're not going to enjoy it. And of course you're going to hate it. And of course that means that you're not going to like yourself very much. So, think about all the people in your life that you love spending time with. What do you do with those people and how can you implement it in the relationship with yourself?
Yeah. And what I would say about the binge and the bit like the word binge, I think we need to, if it's binging, it's not okay. But if it's kind of, look at, just change the perspective on what you're doing. Like, what are you doing? Are you watching a bunch of Netflix because you are running away from yourself, or because actually you're exhausted and you need some downtime?
Yeah, that's a distinction. Are you doing it all the time or are you doing it every so often?
Yeah, exactly. And kind of giving yourself a bit of grace and just, and what you were saying, like, what do you do with friends and things like that? It's like, look at the people that you admire, not the celebrities, but like the people around you. What do you admire about them? And then what do you think that they do in their spare time? Don't ask them what they do. What do you think they do?
Yeah.
Because it's just kind of like, it's a way of kind of introspection, of just kind of like observing the outside of like, what do you think like do, rather than, because you don't want to be them, but if you admire something about them, you want to kind of recreate that for you. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Um so yeah, kind of choose a couple of people, spend time with them, suss out what they do in their spare time and what they do to feel good about themselves, and then see how that feels for you.
Yeah. And I think this ties into Sophie's next question, which was, what kind of solo activities help me heal and feel more like myself again? And I think it's hard to know right off the bat, which is why it is so good to, gauge from other relationships and other people and see what they're doing, and then do some trial and error with yourself.
Yeah.
And especially after an all-consuming, often toxic relationship, I think it's very hard to know what you want and what you enjoy and what you will love doing with yourself. So this is time to start, going out there and exploring and trying. And I think just this process of trying to find something that you love to do with yourself and that will help you enjoy your own company is very healing. The whole, just like with any other relationship where you get to know each other and you're mending this relationship with yourself through doing things and discovering this I like, this I don't like so much, this I really don't like, or this is something that I need to try more, and just dipping your toes in different little, ponds and trying to find the things that actually stick and the things that make you happy.
I completely agree, and I'll add on to that of I would like solo activities is I don't think it's the objective to be on your own because I fundamentally think that we are animals that are made to be in community and we need to be around other people like the true hermits, the true people like really kind of people who need to be on their own like they exist, but I think they are so completely rare. I think,
Mhm.
people need connection and I think I think there's a slight mind shift that needs to happen here as well. It's like what kinds of solo activities? It's not solo activities. It's what type of new activities with new people.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to compare Sophie to my brother, where he's just they broke up in September, so kind of really at the same time as Sophie and her guy.
Yeah.
And my brother is surrounded by people in relationships, and
Hmm.
it has to be sucky. Like, it just has to be horrible. And so now
Yeah.
his objective is to meet people who are not in relationships, who are not confronting him to his singlehood and the
Yeah.
pain of it. And so it's not solo activities, it's new activities. How can I meet new people? And my brother had this idea of going to a dance class. I think that's an amazing idea,
Yeah.
especially for a single guy,
Yeah.
because I feel that single guys are a rare kind of a rare I don't know what species in dance classes where I think that was a
Yeah.
great idea. And I think because and I'm not saying you should, as a single woman, you should find something where women are rare in a community. That's not what I'm saying. Just kind of go and see new people, find new girlfriends who are single, and kind of are going to get you in that different mindset and everything.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
and
think.
so, how do I shift my mindset?
Hmm.
Um, is her next question. Um, I think shifting mindset is very hard.
Hmm.
Like we've said it a lot since the beginning of the episode, and I think I want to honor the fact that it's not easy. You can't just you have to find what rings true to you.
Yeah.
um like I need someone, and because it's not shifting mindset to I need someone to I'm okay on my own, I think is a big leap. I think it needs to
Yeah.
go into steps.
Hmm. But again, you're not on your own. A lot of times we overlook other relationships because
Yeah.
of this one glorified type of relationship, because there's so many other people in your life and there's so many other different types of relationships. And I think it's true what you said, that you do have to be with other people. If you cut yourself off and if you only spend time with yourself, you are going to feel very lonely if you don't have any other connections. I do think it is important to, you know, do things with yourself, not only to meet other people, but also to actually enjoy being with yourself and loving the person that you are. Because, if you want other people to enjoy your company and you want other people to enjoy being with you, then you also have to enjoy being with yourself. That's sort
Yeah.
of the selling point of you. And I think it just, again, it's like you said, it's a process, and it's not going from being, okay to being on your own to, like, if okay, from needing someone to straight away being okay on your own. It's just a matter of adjusting slowly and not looking
Yeah.
at the end point, because that's just going to make you feel overwhelmed and it's going to make you feel like it's so far away from you. It's a matter of looking at where you are right now and what's the next step that you can actually take.
Mm.
And I think that's looking at yourself and what you can do to feel comfortable on your own and feel comfortable with your single life. And B is, what other relationships and connections do you have in your life?
Yeah.
Because it's right under your nose and you can't see it because you're so overly focused about just one type of relationship.
I agree, and I think it's, what you're saying about you're not on your own is again so, and I think so Sophie is not on her own. Like, we know she's got
Mhm.
a support system and everything, but if
Yeah.
anybody listening is actually saying, "But I am on my own. I don't have friends, I don't have siblings. My parents aren't close." And like, if you are genuine, I think then it is too much pressure to get into a relationship.
Mhm.
This kind of big glorified thing. Um, if you're kind of starting off from there and you're genuinely alone, just kind of sit back and think like, do I have any distant connections that I can rekindle?
Yeah.
Um, how do I take the pressure off? And if not, then back to the previous questions, I'm like, okay, what new activities can you join?
Mm.
Um, me, for example, I love yoga and I go to yoga, but there's I I love badminton. We're a badminton family. And in France, badminton tournaments and everything like that, it's really kind of, I feel, social events because it's an individual sport, but the way it's organized, you spend time with a bunch of people and you see a lot of people and you meet a lot of people. And I think that type of sport is great. And I know badminton, so I can talk to that sport, but I think any activity which kind of forces you into socializing and kind of like you have to play against somebody else and with other people and mix and everything, I think is a great, great starting point. And,
Mhm.
in whatever age, I think anything before 30 doesn't really count because you've still kind of got the new job and the new thing and everything. And so it kind of happens naturally. But after that, it feels like you're on your own, but there are so many people in the same situation of just like, new people arriving in a new area. Like, I promise, unless you are living in this really remote place where you have no neighbors and the closest town is a 35-minute drive and there's nothing in between, no shops, nothing. Like, there are other people in the same situation. Like, I promise. Um, and and you will recognize them and they will recognize you. It's just like going abroad. Like, French people, we recognize each other. We're not
Yeah.
happy to see each other, but we recognize each other. Same with
Mhm.
British people.
Yeah.
And I think with people who are kind of looking to connect, you will recognize each other. um
Yeah.
you just need to go to places. Like, you won't recognize each other from inside your homes.
Yeah, and I think it's really necessary before, especially if you are alone and you don't have other people to lean on and other connections. I think it's even more crucial before you jump into a relationship to find that network of people and to build your support system, because it's too much pressure to put on just one person and just one relationship. And no relationship can survive that kind of pressure and stress. And I think there's there's a lot of opportunities out there, and you just have to go out and get it. And
Yeah,
and I know it's easier said than done, but but it's also much simpler than you build it up in your head to be.
yeah,
And I think a lot of times we get stuck in our own heads and we were like, no, but for me it's not that easy, or I can't be bothered, or we just get stuck in feeling sorry for ourselves because it's easier than getting out of your comfort zone and going to meet new people. But if you want change and if you want to feel better and if you want to be able to feel comfortable with yourself and create a strong support system, then there's no other choice but to get out of your
yeah,
comfort zone and discover things. And it may seem like there's nothing out there, but how do you know if you haven't even checked? And I think a lot of times we don't realize it is because we haven't done the proper research, because we haven't done the proper homework to discover what communities are there around me, what workshops or what teams or what any I mean, there's so many things right now that the
yeah.
that is just, if you aren't going out and getting it, then you can only blame yourself because you're not doing anything about it.
I think that I agree, and a way you can do it is find an objective, and it can't be meeting someone new. It has to be, something that's palpable and that you have control of, i.e., joining a club or doing this activity on my own or running a certain amount of miles and things like that. Because even running, like you will if you go running every day at the same time, you will see other runners. And so then break that up into 30 steps. How do I get to this objective in 30 steps? And then every day you just accomplish a step. And I swear, if your objective is having joined a club, 30 steps to get there, they're going to be tiny steps. And I'm not saying you should go faster. I'm saying it's going to be very achievable steps. If your objective is landing on the moon, then it's going to be a bit more complicated.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think when you do that, you discover how much easier and simpler it is than you really thought it was.
And how resourceful you are.
Yeah. Exactly.
So,
well,
thank you, Sophie.
Thank you for your amazing questions. I hope this helps, and I hope, you guys out there listening take something from this and let us know as well. Like, what do you enjoy doing by yourself? Like, what helps you feel more comfortable in your own company?
And what steps are you going to take
exactly
in the new year?
Yeah. So don't forget to like, follow, subscribe wherever you're watching, listening.
Yay! Bye!
That's it for this episode of Pop Culture Cupid.
Thanks for hanging out with us. We're glad you're here.
Make sure to subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you're listening.
You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Reddit for more behind-the-scenes real talk.
And if you want to support the show, check us out on Patreon.
Until next time, be kind, be happy, be healthy, and remember, heartbreak isn't the end.
It's the plot twist.